almost had a stopwatch online with a couple of long swords, but he's kept up in farm, and Faker has to make his way back with his Lost Chapter now purchased, and will once again lose some creeps underneath this turret. That's a turret plate already going down in favor of the Aatrox.
That definitely has gone better than expected from what we were presuming the matchup would look, especially after our last Aatrox got pummeled.
Oh yeah.
At the end of last week.
It just shows how the difference in jungler can change how a lot of these lanes are going to go. Of course, SKT aren't too worried about what happens here in this early game. They have about as much late game insurance as you like with the Vladimir, especially when it's against this double AD style composition that isn't hugely long range despite Jace having a lot of poke options. SKT should be pretty comfortable moving into front-to-back team fighting in the late game.
And the moment we had Camille ripped away from the jungle, but we haven't really had Elise versus Jarvan levels of pressure in terms of both sides opting into very strong ganking junglers come level 2 or level 3, respectively. So kind of nice to see swing matchups, because there's a lot of matchups that are much more 55-45 than, say, 70-30. So cool to see little changes like that.
Well, that's a nice little knock-up, but no more Uncle Dashes means that Grace is unable to follow up with the second one. Finds C's, look at how much damage he's taking! Cocoon is gonna miss, and I don't think C's has too many ways out here to repel. Choose your death there, as Clint is gonna be able to pick up the kill, but not after dying. Grace has the world ender, but he should get taken down. The Soul Shackles is in.
Trying to wait it out.
Looking for it, yeah, exactly right. Faker does find the ultimate. Oh no, he short arms! The Even is still able to flash himself to safety.
Rude.
Teleport comes in from Khan, but Faker is going to go down. Aftershock or not, that is not enough, as the Hemoplague is going to do nothing to deter Jinair Green Wings. They grab a couple of kills in response to SKT.
SKT rotates first, but Jinair actually stick the landing way better than you might have imagined. The trade kill there didn't look on the cards onto Clid when the roam timing was there from Marta first. However, overall, it ends up being pretty even, all things considered. SKT not able to hit the ground running like you might first have imagined.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to have a look at this one again, and you saw how much damage C's took, but Clid is also extremely squishy.
But remember how this starts. Morgana roams first, and Clid does the whole health bar of the enemy jungle before anything happens. Suddenly, you're like, wait, Grace does a lot of damage. This is still outnumbered from the side of SKT. Kellen only gets there now. Of course, you can buy a lot of time if you're waiting out the world ender, like SKT were looking to do. Faker has to flash, doesn't get over with just the glacial path because of the CC that comes through. It takes through its flash, but they do get that back.
Yeah. Well, nicely played by Jinair Green Wings, and they're going to follow it up with Shelly as well on the top side of the map. C's going to be able to slow that one down. They traded the Cloud Drake, but it's Cloud Drake at this particular point in the game. Not too worried about giving that one away, so Jinair trading up. Teddy's going to be able to get himself this turret plate, though, and things still going very well for SKT bottom side of the map. Chia stacking up almost with the mana mute completed.
And it's worth remembering, we feel like this game is kind of with Jinair at SKT's whims in the late game. If you consider what Vladimir has to deal with in terms of level 16 Vladimir, he's just going to mop up members of Jinair. There's no resistance, really. There's only, kind of one ability that's going to reliably stop him in the headbutt, and that can easily be just pulled through. And yes, Aatrox and at least can do things. You can boop away with Jace, but if you're in range from Jace, you're dying to AoE. So yeah, the Vladimir outscale is super large in the late game. Right now, the gold is small lead to SKT, and every time Clid finds C's, he almost solo kills him.
Well, Clid's now just looking for a red buff. Not going to be able to get it, though, as the Cocoon is going to go slightly wide. Troll Lord goes down. Jinair are going to be able to mop that one up, and SKT get nothing for that little invade into the jungle.
We're looking to see Jinair hit the ground running on multiple turret plates and lanes, and to some degree, they've got at least one in every lane, but they need to have a lead and hit the ground running pre-25 minutes, and right now, it feels like the map state is more influenced by the Jarvan than the Elise.
Yeah, and it's 4-1 as far as those turret plates are concerned. Grace trying to get cleared out of his river, but I don't think he's going to be too worried about that one. Crimson Rush is going to keep Khan pretty comfortable here on the top side of the map. Doing some pinging out, wanting some help, trying to grab the rest of these turret plates as 13 minutes is picked up. He's still sticking with Shelly in hand. It's a lot of money that may go begging unless he can get up there, and it looks like he probably will.
Interesting that the decision is tough, but it's more about denying Vladimir than opening up the enemy. Khan, of course, has no interrupts.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad.
You going to do a bit of damage, but they want to end this Vladimir laning phase and make him online teamfight ready as late as possible. That means entire turret. Good focus down there means they get down that third plate, which means the last two will die to the charge. Teddy will eventually be able to answer on the bot side, but they're going for inner turret damage as well.
Yeah, exactly. Shelly's going to get a hell of a lot of damage here, and the power of Jace is a lot to do with being able to destroy turrets very early. So you can see that turret goes down very, very far.
And they're actually feeling strong enough to defend this turret as well. They understand that Lissandra's picking up blue. You'll notice that Faker is spotted going for a blue transfer.
Yeah.
That means that two members are around blue. You can see the Vladimir, therefore, you don't need to give up the bot lane turret, so it doesn't even end up being the entire turret's worth of plates. Turret plating is now worn off, so a nice gold injection means 7 to 3 plates in the early game. That's why Jinair stayed competitive in game number 1.
Yep, fair bit of extra power being picked up here from Teddy because Mata also has the Ardent Sensor already completed. So Teddy will have a lot of on-hit damage. These Mystic Shots will be hurting as his Mirror Mana transformation is about to come in as well. It was a relatively late tier, so still might have a few hundred mana to go. But Iceborne Gauntlet, very, very close. Those two items that we talk about with the Ezreal are going to be there, and the side laners of Lissandra and Vladimir are going to be pretty comfortable as we move into this mid-game. It's where SKT want to stabilize.
So before that mid-game, before the true stabilization, the turret plates, 5 of which being around Linderung, allows him to have double Dirk for poke and also Executioner's Calling. So the Executioner's Calling is a snowball choice here. It means they don't have to only group. They can try to all in, but at this timing, Jarvan's going to get there first.
Yep, Emo Plague is going to come up. That's already a lot of damage down. He wants the Crimson Rush. The flash comes in from Khan, but doesn't get the Tides of Blood. Clit has his flash, though. The Cataclysm comes in and sees. Can't get there in time.
Flashing upwards for a Boots 1 jungler to get you there. Wasn't actually going to buy the sort of time that Linderung wanted, so that means important gold goes the way of SKT. You'll notice the bounty system has been updated, so it's the same as a 450 gold bounty on the Jarvan, but it's only the bonus gold. It doesn't include the 300 for the kill.
Yeah, just going to be that 150, but it is exactly what you're used to as Faker throws out the claw, but doesn't take it, which is lucky. This season's here in this mid lane. Mata taking a lot of damage there, bottom side. Dead, the Culling's just going to do it. That was the combo, and Teddy might be in trouble here as well. He flashes away, but it's not enough. Double kill comes in for Root, who's down to about 150 health, but it doesn't matter.
He can even kite up to his jungler as well. They cull the Morgana super quickly. That's why Morgana wasn't seen in the Lucian meta, because she offers nothing, right? Cullen just kills her and Black Shield doesn't provide anything. It is a stable 2v2 choice, but in the 2v2, Jina just get a massive lead.
Exactly, that's a 600 gold bounty now on top of Root, or 300 gold. Should we transition the language around it here as well? Should we say 300 gold bounty? What do you think? What's your idea?
I think the bounty is the bonus gold, 300 gold, and we have to retrain the viewers, but I think the gold bounty will remain.
All right, let's call the bounty 300 at this point in time. But that is a big one. That's the old 600s. We're going to see it again.
Mata just gets pulled in because they had a lane war down and dies. Because guess what? You put your Black Shield down, you get cold because you've already been CC'd. Yeah. And that just ends up being Teddy paying for the sins of his hero laner there. That's a really big 2v2 moment. And importantly, it's all the way back to Root and Kellen. They don't have Nova in the lineup anymore. They're going back to the duo that played a lot of time and split scrim time with Stitch and Nova back in the day. So shout out to Root and Kellen. It's a nice confidence boost to get the 2v2 kill.
Yeah, well, Mata and Teddy are still going to be pretty comfortable here, as Teddy does have that 2 items that he very much likes. Clit throws down his standard on top of Kellen, but Kellen's not going to be too worried. Next Cloud Drake is now available, and Jina look to be taking that one away. I don't know whether SKT are going to throw in too many chips into this particular pool, because it's the second Cloud Drake, so they're not too worried about it. Okay, we are only going to have mountains available, so no Infernal Drakes this game around, but thankfully the Mountain Drake is going to be the next one. That might actually start up some fighting. This game, very, very close here at this stage. We joked about the 94-minute game, but
I mean, thankfully Riot Games listened to my public whinging, I'll call it, and changed a lot of how the game works to...
Yeah, the scaling Barons and Elders do make it a bit of a problem.
It's almost impossible to go over 70 now, I feel like. Yeah. 60-minute games can happen, but they're few and far between, and the 8.1 meta is in our rear view meta and then some. Right now, remember that Jinair have a comp that spikes now, so SKT just need to make sure that in the next 7 minutes or so, they don't allow Jinair a Baron by taking a poor team fight before their items are ready. But this dive, it's happening now.
Yep, that's a fantastic knock-up. The Cataclysm reinforcements are going to come in there, and there is nothing that Linderung can do. A lot of money was on his back as well. It is the Jarvan that grabs that kill. Vladimir was bottom side of the map, but Faker's going to get an assist. That ain't a bad thing here for SKT.
It's extra gold around the Jarvan, which means his frontline damage build. Notice not Cinderhawk this game.
Yeah.
Damage Jarvan.
Also going for GA very early.
Gonna have it nice and early. That's a nice way to use your snowball lead because you do damage and dive hard. Speaking of diving.
Yeah, big flash cocoon into a minion there from C's. Bad news bears most likely, but Grace does still get a flash out of Faker. He's still walking, but he's walking quickly enough to get out of the way of the World Ender and the flash from the edge.
Now, we don't have a listen in, but you would assume there was a very decisive shot call going on in that one. They were really feeling it. C's, unfortunately, you know, the cocoon getting blocked by the minions is a very simple mechanic, so I'm guessing he just saw something that wasn't there. End result is some summoners down, and the next time, potentially some turnarounds for SKT.
Trading flashes, though, as C's versus Faker isn't that bad, I guess. I mean, you'd pseudo-take it. That being said, C's is going to be pretty easy to kill. For all of the high damage on the side of SKT, even Khan probably pop the Spider Lady pretty quickly. I misread Grace's Umbral Dash for a flash, so not actually as much of a huge deal here. For Jin Air Green Wings, but not having the World Ender for the next little while might be a problem. And just slows down Jin Air, right, as they're looking for a gank on the bottom side, but I don't think Khan is going to bite off more than Pikachu. Investment of 3 people on this outer turret that's still very healthy isn't going to get them anything.
You'll notice that Jin Air, after Jace has been slowed down, actually is a couple of CS behind, is really only strong where Root is. Root has his core items done and the snowball QSS with his 3 kills. So that is where Jin Air want to be fighting. A way to actually force SK Telecom to take a true 3v3, 4v4, 5v5 when Lucian is present. We're post 20 minutes. Feels like Jin Air right now. Their next move probably decides the game. If they can actually find a Baron or 5 kills, then maybe that's enough snowball gold, but Khan is stabilized. SKT just need to not make a colossal mistake and allow Jin Air to gleefully accept a mid-game lead.
Yeah, well, at the moment, they don't have one. SKT are still ahead. It's 1 turret each, and making up for the lack of turret plates that SKT picked up by getting that extra kill, and also picking up some of the bounties that Jin Air had on offer to.
And we'll keep bringing this up, but a reminder, Lucian has effectively a 750 gold banner by 9.5 standards, and it's 600 gold onto the side of the Jarvan. The 300 remove, like in your solo queue games, is now reflected in pro games and Korea.
So when we say they have a bounty of this, then that's exactly what it means.
700 is the old 1,000.
The flash in! Teddy actually going to be able to get out of there with just the Arcane Shift as Root throws down his QSS. I think that was before the Soul Shackles actually went off, unless he Captain Jacked it.
I believe he Captain Jacked it. I'm going to give him full credit there. We'll get a replay maybe to confirm that. But he's feeling pretty good, Atlas. They're trying to push up. They're feeling like now's the time, but now multiple flashes are down. And Faker might be licking his lips and saying, I'm going to make someone pay for it.
Yep, Black Shield not available. As you can see, Faker, he claws out though, so not going to start any fights. Here are SKT. They understand, not necessarily superpowered now, but if this game keeps going the way it is, they'll be superpowered later.
I mean, the flashes look silly because no kills go down, but if you just wait it out and get outscaled, that's pretty silly too.
Yeah, it's like some of those Baron calls that we were talking about last week, right? Especially by Sandbox, they have to make a play like that in order to make their comp relevant. So I like this from Jin Air as Teddy barely gets scratched by the cocoon.
I actually wonder, what's a longer range go shot these days? Lee Sin Q max range or cocoon max range? It might be Lee Sin Q by about 100 units.
I think it is after the buff a little while ago.
They're both very long, so I was just inspecting them from the side rush. They would hit Ezreal in the middle of the lane. Speaking of the middle of the lane.
Yeah, Mata has to flash. Has to get out of the way of those infernal chains, and he's so squishy with this Ardent Sensor build.
I'm going to say this. Forcing Mata onto this far back on his champion pool, he looks pretty uncomfortable this game. So it does feel like Mata, with so many engaged supports taken down, does feel a little bit out of his comfort on Morgana. He's been caught too many times based on our usual high expectations.
Well, Faker actually spotted on a ward down here, so Jin Air with full information. Claw takes him over. I don't know whether Jin Air actually saw that one, but SKT now split in a 3-2. Back going to come in, but all of that information given down by the human ward that is Linderung. Face first into the cocoon as Split takes a volatile spiderling, but otherwise isn't going to be too worried. Shock Blast lands onto Khan, but he's got a lot of ability to repair himself. Now SKT thinking about this red steel. Grace comes down, Split just flags and drags his way in. Brood brute force is going to be able to grab him that red buff. Jinner can't actually offer too much back as Teddy's sneaking in a lot of these Qs. That damage is going to add up as C's down to half health.
And this is a mostly neutral slight advantage SKT trade at a time when Jinner should be at their strongest. So we're still liking this for SKT. They're going to try and take the Mountain Drake and repel a mid lane push. Or it's pretty healthy, so they should be fine.
Yeah, it's actually a really great claw to come in there from Faker, because if Jinner had have made any aggressive plays towards the turret, then he would have had a fantastic opportunity for a 5-man Ring of Frost. So SKT used that, they grabbed themselves the Mountain Drake, and they're just slowly getting further and further ahead at the time in the game where they shouldn't be.
And this is where I believe Jinner's items never get relatively better compared to what 1,000 gold in SKT's items does for 1,000 gold in Jinner's items. They got double pen, a lot of members, a couple of black cleavers. They very much have a lot of physical damage and physical damage shred, a modicum of magic damage, but obviously C's doesn't have much going, so given black pen and just how games work, they never get stronger than they are right now. It feels like every extra item on Vladimir especially is just going to burn a hole in the pockets of Jinner. So because of that, if they can't get something done now, and we're around that 25 magic number that we spoke about earlier in terms of game timers, SKT are probably fine to frustrate. Of course, it probably frustrates their fans who want to see them just roll over Jinner, but if they just hold strong for another 5 to 7 minutes, almost every scenario should be advantage SKT.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, I actually really like this from SKT though, so I want to reassure the fans that watching a game like this where SKT is showing so much discipline should actually make you happy for what SKT can accomplish in the future, especially if they are our representative going over to MSI. Maybe the power rankings for ESPN are correct,
but it's basically nameplates off, I agree, nameplates on, I disagree, right? That's right. The thing is, yes, if it's an even matchup, because it's Jinner, you understand why people might give you pause. So
yeah,
we don't have any full thoughts about it, but it is something that it's worth ruminating on, because right now, SKT are mostly incentivized to wait out, so unfortunately, the lull state that we always talk about is largely upon us, because SKT aren't going to be over-eager at the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, I'll see whether we get that in game number 2. Faker going to throw out a cube, but doesn't actually find grace with it, as they're just jockeying for position around this lane on the top side of the map. Teddy does get some free time here with this outer turret in the mid lane, and it looks like Jinner are actually not interested in fighting him. These Qs are starting to do a lot of damage, as the trick shot barrage is going to be missed, but does clip the minion waves, so SKT can continue shoving relentlessly into this turret.
But notice they're playing in an open lane, a long lane. Faker's on a very safe champion with flash up. They're very much choosing spots where they're not going to be collapsed on and forced to fight.
Wow, Root's in a whole lot of trouble here. Yep. He's by himself under the turret. Martin moves up. Kellen has to get over here. I believe that was a Hex Flash, but he's now got his flash on cooldown, definitely.
Remember your ARAM tier list. Lucian and Alistair down as his engage.
Oh no, that's just going to be the cocoon right into the black shield as Faker wanting a re-engage does actually get down there. Teddy just pops the Aatrox. Didn't even have time to use the World Ender as a frozen thrall. Stops any sort of engagement from Jinner. And our SKT just going to run to the Baron.
ARAM tier list confirmed. This is why they were just playing through the mid lane. Ezreal can poke out turrets, poke out health bars, and now they just all in on the Baron. And unfortunately, Jinner, they might have just given this one up.
Yep, this is exactly what we were talking about before. Jinner weren't allowed to let the game get to this point. The Baron just gets shredded. Mountain Drake was in there, but SKT had no contest from Jinner whatsoever. And this game went from what you were talking about, very slow and steady for SKT, to just an explosion. One pick turns into a Baron, and now it just really looks like Jinner don't have a way back in.
If you're a 10th place team, you have to pick your poison. Do you pick a late game scaling comp and lose in the early game, or do you try to get early game leads and then inevitably reach some spots where if you make a mistake, your window is closed? And it was the latter. This particular game, C's has been trying to make things happen, but whether it's from small errors or, in this case, a good black shield timing, it's been a little bit too little, right? Unfortunately, Elise has got that single target cocoon. The black shield is on point. They're able to take down a member, they take down a Baron, and now, unfortunately, I think Jinner, while they won't know it for sure until it's official, might already have to start recouping for game number 2, unless SKT makes some pretty seismic mistakes.
Yeah, let's just say that the fat lady is warming up her larynx at this particular point in time. She's ready to let go with that first ballad. Jinner are really struggling here as Faker, he's just moving some Baron minions into Grace.
Out of interest, when you think of the fat lady singing, is it a tenor kind of thing? A tenor song, you know, like
it's a soprano. I feel like it's a soprano. I think you needed like high pitch in order for it to be like to get get the full resonance of this is all over.
Now, you've obviously got some big lungs on you. Can you do any of that kind of tenor, kind of like really deep singing?
I mean, I used to be better at it than I am now.
I'd love to hear it, Atlas. Maybe I'll script something out.
Yeah, maybe we can save that for your private content on maybe your stream instead of putting it on the.
I'm all about my private content, Atlas.
I didn't realize that came out real badly. Okay, SKT going to move into a 1-1-3 as this game moves on. As Root looking for Khan, actually doing a lot of damage here, but the pull is still available. He's still going aggressive. Will move his way out. The Hemoplate gives Khan a whole bunch of his health bar back as Kellen Root down to about half health. Teddy moves in, does land the Q, lands the second Clid, looking for the flag and drag. Just Cataclysms, gets the passive on the auto, takes down the cow very easily. Is now Grace is fighting Faker, and the World End is going to get weighted out, but it's a great knock-up, and Grace gets a solo kill.
It might unfortunately only have to be a small silver lining because their base is in tatters.
Yeah, Faker wants to give something back here to Jinair. At the very end, Khan goes into stasis as Linderung very far up. You can see Teddy just going so aggressively though as sees the Spiderlings trying to save him and will do as he makes his way back to the fountain. Two inhibitors have been taken down. SKT are missing their mid laner who has teleport but only after 25 seconds.
And Atlas's indirect nerf to Ezreal isn't working on Teddy's Ezreal. He's gone into the Blade of Ruin King. He's got a BS sword now. He's going to get safety rather than CDR.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what?
Bloodthirst.
It means his Qs do more damage at this time.
Yeah, exactly right. It's real scary stuff, and it's sort of a pseudo buff. You're exactly right. To 30-minute Ezreal, 40-minute Ezreal. No. That's way worse. At 30-minute Ezreal, he's real scary.
Or if you think about it another way, the safety of knowing your Scalen's going to get there and your shield is gone, but the temptation to just do straight up more damage earlier
you have
is now
permanent
there.
Seraph Shield with a Bloodthirst above us, maybe. It's better.
Fair point.
Yeah, see? That's some play-by-play analysis for you. Alright, SKT, the Baron is going to wear off, but the damage has been done. 7,000 gold is the lead now. Teddy parked himself on the top side of the map. That's the last remaining lane with an inhibitor turret in it. Inhibitor turret also there as well, so some more standing gold that SKT want to take. It's only a 2-kill lead if this squad just shows that they have just been running Jinair around, picking up more farm than them, and creating a huge problem. It's a 20 CS advantage in the mid lane despite that solo kill going down. And even though Root is 3-0-0, it feels like Teddy is so far ahead of him.
And unfortunately, Jinair, like we've said a couple of times, had one of those drafts that needed to be so far ahead. Didn't have it, and it hasn't even been Vladimir related, right? It was just Teddy popping off in some ARAM scenarios, and Jinair not being able to actually get a lead. Free Baron into now 2 inhibitors down, and we're kind of waiting for SKT to dot their I's, cross their T's, and take us to game number 2.
Yep, C's is looking for a flank, but he's going to be spotted on that control ward. Faker moves on in here as well. They just want to take him down because they know with Baron up, it's another minute and a half actually, getting a little bit ahead of myself here as Teddy. He's heading forward, but Black Shield is going to be available. Kellen maybe too far off as the True Shot Barrage doesn't hit quite as much this stage of the game, but still feels like hell for Kellen. The ultimate has to be used, and that means that's a tool that's not going to be in there. Grace has found Faker one more time. As Vladimir may have turned up to this series now as he goes into stasis under Nexus turrets. Of all things, is going to avoid all of that extra damage. Now the World Ender is going to come in. I'm sorry, Grace, you're not going to do it 2 times in a row against Fakers. See your death, Miss Spider Lady, and Faker's going to be able to pick up the kill under C's. SKT should be able to take down some Nexus turrets and really put a dent in this series very early on against Jinair. The flash from Faker. The kill's going to go down under Linderung as Grace tries to get back towards the fountain. It's not going to matter. Nexus is going to go down, and SKT dominant game 1.
Vladimir being the ultimate wedding crasher, waiting till the bouquet was thrown before he shows up.
Was he Vince Vaughn or was he Owen Wilson in this particular example?
I leave it to your interpretation, Atlas. SK Talk on T1, it wasn't a outstandingly aggressive performance. They understood that Jinair had the power spikes. After a couple of mistakes, they resolved to just wait their time. Because it was Jinair, their time was quite inevitable. Yep. Came around Teddy, who will almost certainly pick up the MVP in game number 1. The Bunny Ears are going to be rewarded with a victory in game number 1.
Happy birthday. It's her birthday. G-Sun just confirmed. That was what was written on those cards. We can't actually read it. If only Val was here. He can read it.
Well, because it was Jin Air, she was very likely to get her birthday present this time.
Yeah, if it was an SKT win that they wanted, then you would definitely got a present there. So you'd hope that she is one of their supporters. The Jin Air supporters not feeling too happy at this particular stage. However, they have been very loyal to this squad, and this is one of the last 2 times that you may have an opportunity to see Jin Air Green Wings on an LCK stage, and that is so sad. For all of you fans out there, and I know there's a whole lot of you that have been watching the LCK for a very long time, Jin Air is almost synonymous with this league, and we might be missing them and potentially another big name if the challenger teams are going to continue looking as good as Damwon and Sandbox are this year.
I'm not ready to give out my eulogy for Jin Air just yet.
I just want, we need to prepare people though.
You do.
Because it's a big deal, man.
It is a real thing because it is, at this point, almost expected that we will not be seeing them in summer. Hopefully, they can fight back for you LCK purists. I also want to give a very humble apology. I got everyone very excited about the champions we might see, and I couldn't deliver.
We saw Silas on the ban list. Look at that.
I'm just saying
right there.
That a lot of people, you know, their papa is someone that they hold to this high standard. They need him to be strong and to always be right. Do you remember the first time your papa was wrong? I know I do.
Yeah, it was
and because
very
of
early
that,
on in our friendship.
I misled everyone, and unfortunately, game number 1, it was a bit too sterile. It was a bit too standard. At some point, when Jin Air couldn't get a big lead, it kind of played itself. So fingers crossed, the crazy stuff comes out game number 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think Series 2 might be where we're looking to as well, because Genji versus Damwon, these are 2 teams that are a little bit more likely to bring out something slightly more crazy in order to get themselves an edge. Damwon are already locked into 5th, so they may as well play, you know, some Sona Tarek there on the bottom side of the map that has been disgusting in solo queue that we've seen. Speaking of disgusting, of course, Teddy did so much mid-game damage. Got his 2-item power spike, got his 3-item, then his 4-item, and then was just completely immovable. And used that to propel them towards that very early Baron and a very swift victory. It felt like this game slowed down really, really hard and then took off almost instantly for SKT.
Well, let's see if game number 2 gives us the spicy picks we're hoping for, Atlas.
Yeah, exactly right. Jin Air Green Wings do have a chance to fight back here against SKT. Is it going to be more early game, or will it be SKT's turn to play aggressively? We'll have to find out after the break.
상대방이 이기면 그거 해줘요? 설레발 치랑 설레발 세레모니.
아
그거 해줘 바이퍼? 형이 바이퍼 보여줘 상현아.
상하고.
오케이. 안 해줘야 돼. 해봐 짜증 할수 있어 이거 우리? 그래. 에어본 띄워줄게 이거.
들어갈 수가 없어.
아 이거 설레발한테 못하나 이거?
해 보자 이겼다.
나이스. 네 파이팅. 리신 풀도 있다 이번에.
빨리가 다 잡아주겠다. 다 잡을게. 걱정하지 마. 오지게 차줄게 이거. 그냥 쓰레쉬 내가 던질게. 너 그냥 뒤져라. 내가 다 잡을게.
오케이 이번 박치기. 아우 이거 세다.
마누나 일로 와.
집어. 네. 너무 많네요.
자르마부터. 한타 안 좋아. 이겼어. 자르마 잡았다.
가자.
나이스. 블라디.
앉아보고 여기 앞에 봐주고.
블라디. 나이스. 바로 가자. 아, 블라디 좋았다.
블라디 너무 잘했는데.
우종이 형 나이스.
뭐야?
말했잖아. 초반 캐리한다고. 초반 캐리한다고 했잖아. 퍼즈 걸어줘라요.
퍼즈 해야 돼?
계속 내려가.
걸었어. 퍼즈 시간 때 이 긴장을 유지하는 게 쉽지가 않아. 나는 긴장되는데. 그러니까 약간 체력 소모도 되는 것 같아. 약간 이러고 있으면. 너가 안일하다는 증거야. 안일하다 어때요? 반성문 10장 써. 재밌다 형. 아이고야. 함초롱 바탕채 10포인트로 10장 써와. 왜 자꾸 이상한 소리 하는 거야? 야 르블랑 풀템이다. 미드 템차이 오지네. 완전 눈물이나 흘리고 있네. 아이 갔어. 아이 개트로라 하면 안 돼. 왜요? 왜 그랬어 두 번째 판?
바이게가 형을 화나게 했어?
아니 카직스가 재현이랑 내가 카직스에 눈 돌아간 게 문제인 것 같은데. 야 오늘 다 야근이다. 이거 앞 경기 3경기에 뒷 경기 3경기에 퍼즐까지.
야.
너 자고 있어도 되지? 일단 2시 각이야 오늘 우리는. 내가 스카노로서 이미지를 땄다 이거. 이미지를 땄다.
어떻게 렉 걸리는데?
아이 용준아 잘 좀 하자. 오늘 용준 했다. 지금 몇 시야? 리오넬 메시. 왜 그럴까? 펩시? 너 펩시 좋아해? 콜라 안 먹어. 야근은 몇 인분이야? 왜 그럴까? 한근은 2인분이잖아. 진짜 왜 그럴까?